Hi, and welcome to Fay at 5. I'm LaTangela Fay, your hostess, and you know it does my heart well to have those in the hot seat and on the tan line that's doing some wonderful things in the capital city, surrounding areas, and making the world that we live in a better place. Now, today, I've got questions that need answers. So I had to hit up the heavy swingers, the one that's getting it done day in and day out, none other than Angela Lorio. How are you, my darling?
I'm great. How you doing? It's always good to see you.
Same here. This is like a family reunion. You're always busy getting it done, but you always slow down to say, hey, you know what, Tan? I got the inside scoop for you. And we have some pretty amazing things happening right now with LaPAAC. So tell me a little bit about LaPAAC and your position.
Sure. Well, LaPAAC stands for Louisiana Peer Action Advocacy Coalition. And it's an amazing organization that is supporting a brand new profession, well, in the last 10 years. And it's the fastest growing profession in the country. It's peer support specialists. And what a peer support specialist, it's somebody with lived experience. They've been there. They've had a mental health challenge, addictive disorder challenge, and they've been trained by Department of Health, Office of Behavioral Health, in ethics, communications, and now have letters behind our name, a profession, and we can use our biggest struggle in our life to help other people. So LaPAAC is that professional organization to support this profession, educate people about the profession.
Okay, now wait, you're taking me fast. So here it is. We're looking for people who have been there, done that. We trained them to say, my experience, at one point it was working against me, but now it's working for me. And through my past transgressions, I can help you get through whatever it is that you're going through, because I'm not just speaking at you. I've been there and I understand.
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head.
Wow. And LaPAAC definitely has a lot of work cut out. One, getting the messaging across, finding those who would be transparent enough to say, I went through some things. We talk about it all the time that social media has taught us to live in this perfect world with all of our imperfections. So we'll slap a filter on something and life is great. You know what I mean? Like, girl, stop. Ain't nobody trying to hear that,
Yeah,
So
no,
if
yes.
you've been through some things and I'm going through it, then that's that relatability to where I can now be open, I can be honest, and I can ask questions without feeling stupid.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how do you go about recruiting those that you really want to train to work with LaPAAC?
Well, there actually to date have been about 600 peer support specialists trained already in Louisiana. But there are a ton of people out there with this lived experience that they don't even know this is a thing. They've never heard of a certified peer support specialist.
Right.
So just to get the word out there, what you're doing is a huge help. And for people to realize it's actually a career path and how powerful it is, to help others. And there may be people with lived experience, that want to become certified. They may be a lawyer, a doctor, whomever, but they can join us. And through their profession, in their own world, they can educate people, and let them know about this profession and how powerful it is.
That's awesome. It's like finding the right people can say everything because that sets the tone for your company. There's no such thing as I can't express it enough. From leadership all the way down to those who volunteer, the messaging has to be the same. It has to be done out of compassion. You have to show me that you're concerned and that I'm not just a number, because now we're dealing with life, we're dealing with issues. And I'm excited to see that you have high school programs, you have college programs, and we're going to talk about that coming up because, during this pandemic, this is the most I've ever spent this much time with Tan. Usually I could stay busy and stay on the go. So work keeps a lot of things masked. But when I had to slow down and sit on this island, girl, let me tell you, some stuff I was like, we can keep. Some stuff I'm like, oh, we got to work on this. But it's that moment in the silence to where you have to admit it and to say, who do I trust to help me work through this? Now with LaPAAC, how do you find those that align themselves, even with the sponsors, with those who want to help with the funding, to make sure that the messaging doesn't get cluttered?
Yes. Well, right now we are so grateful to you, first of all,
Thank you.
and any opportunities like this, because we need support to get out there We were very grateful for Office of Behavioral Health for reaching out and ask us to do that, that high school and college program.
Yeah.
We want to be able to connect employers of peer support specialists also with, the peers needing jobs, because that's the thing, to educate the employers as well on this profession in the healthcare continuum, to let them know, hey, it might be an insurance company or somebody that provides services to say, hey, look, you need somebody like this on your team. So you're not just saying to a person, what happened to you and this is the medicine you need to take, or this is, what you need to do, but somebody asking, what happened? And I've been, I want to walk with you on the journey.
Identify those triggers.
Yeah, absolutely. But having people know that this profession's out there and you can hire these people on your team. And it's an invaluable part of any treatment team in a variety of settings, people looking for jobs, people coming across, any life situation where their past or their struggles is a roadblock.
Right.
So, we need sponsors because we need to be able to offer scholarships for training and do outreaches, like we're doing. So,
well, you know what? I've got questions that need answers. And if it's okay with you, I'm gonna get you to stick around a while longer.
Absolutely.
All right, good. I want you to join the conversation. Be sure to hit us up on the Twitter alert at LaTangelaFay, and all of my links are posted at LaTangela.com. You keep it locked right where you have it. It's Fay at 5. Hi, and welcome back to Fay at 5. I'm LaTangela Fay, your hostess. And today we're chatting it up with LaPAAC, doing some amazing things in the capital city and surrounding areas and making the world we live in a better place. Angela Lorio. Now, here it is. You're here with LaPAAC. LaPAAC has been super busy. And during this pandemic, you found a lot of ways to overcome obstacles. How did you manage to stay focused enough to keep your team focused moving forward?
Well, as peer support specialists, our number one thing is staying well ourselves. So we've had to get creative of how to stay well and be there for each other. Lots of Zooms, a ton of Zooms, but really building each other up, encouraging each other, staying true to our mission, our passion, realizing that virtually we actually have been able to reach more people because we cover the whole state. So a lot more involvement from those outlying areas, rural areas. So that's actually been a blessing.
Absolutely. And a lot of people shun the conversation of mental health awareness, or I saw this meme and it touched me differently when it said people don't fake depression, they fake being okay. It hit different. And I'm like, that makes all the sense in the world. And if it's not our issue, if it's not on our doorstep, we may not see the severity of the situation. But for those who are going through it and they cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel, they need LaPAAC. They need those who can say, I've been there. It was dark. I didn't know my right from my left, but this is how I got through it. How do we begin to erase the stigmas of mental health and people not wanting to talk about it?
Well, I think we've come a long way, first of all, and to have people like you shed a light on this is amazing. And with social media, all of that, putting ourselves out there and allowing people to see the face of someone they would never know went through a struggle or is going through something. Right. So as they see more faces like, oh, okay, well, I had no idea. She's, whatever in their mind is a successful person or a person that's okay, as they see more faces, that continues to reduce the stigma, but talking about it and also realizing that almost everybody's suffering and getting over some kind of trauma.
Yes.
To realize that, it's okay. It doesn't, just because you have a mental health diagnosis, or if you have struggled with any type of, substance abuse, it doesn't make you less than. It makes you stronger. That saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's where the rubber meets the road. It's real. Yeah. And actually, yeah.
You mentioned about being diagnosed, but what about those who are undiagnosed because they don't even want to say, I need to speak to someone? And I've noticed that a lot, especially in the Black and brown community, when you say a counselor or going to get therapy, I don't want nobody in my business. I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm not crazy. Like, this has just been something that has been so embedded in the conversation for so long. It's just first nature and not second nature to say it.
Yeah, absolutely. I've joked with my family and friends, and I said, I need a t-shirt made that said, I'm diagnosed and medicated. What's your problem?
Right, right.
So, I mean, really, it's the more we talk about it, the more we bring it to the forefront, the more it's going to change and save lives. Like this outreach we're doing for young kids, only 20% of bullying is reported, and, when you're young, or even like I said, when you're older, I don't want to see anybody, I don't want them to see me walk into the guidance counselor's office or let people know I need help. So I think, the support we've had of, some of our events, the governor and Senator Barrow, Garrett Graves, having people of notoriety saying, look, it's okay not to be okay.
Right.
And really to save lives, everybody knows somebody or a friend of a friend who has, unfortunately ended their life early. There's a lot of famous people. I think about Robin Williams. The country was shocked, a comedian, the best face, of everything. And so
he kept us all happy while he was suffering.
Yeah. Absolutely. So it's to save lives, to not saying this or that, is what you have to do, but I want to walk alongside you along your journey and to recognize the signs. So to have peer support specialists be on a team, of any company, because there's people everywhere. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be in the mental health world, but just to be there and say, someone who needs reaching out to recognize that.
And to normalize the conversation, because you have a lot of coworkers that are going through things and they're balancing, right? I had to start asking my questions to self. Did you get your steps in today? Mental, physical, spiritual, because we need to find ways to balance through it all. And some days mental health looks like a punching bag. Some days it looks like cooking your favorite food. Some days it looks like sitting in a corner and just letting life pass you by, but for those who are at the office or those who are in the classroom, those who are in the congregation, we need those entities to say that we have people who are going through this. And we need to recognize that, and we need to put systems in place and to partner with LaPAAC. How do they say, I need some of your peer specialists to come and be a part of my staff?
Yeah, well, that would be phenomenal, because we want to be the connection between employers and peers.
Yes.
So that's who we're trying to gather everybody in from the state. We're actually going to be having a virtual job fair in the next several months. I know sometime before the end of the year for sure. And just to gather everybody in and match up those peers with employers. So, our website, contact us, we have a growing membership. So anybody who is already a certified peer support specialist, we want them to join, become a member. So that way, when we get a call from an employer, we can shoot out to our membership, hey, this is what's needed. Right now, Tulane University is looking for a peer. Places in Baton Rouge, immediate job openings.
Yes.
So we want to match that, those people up, knowing how powerful this profession is.
Well, this is an extension of your office. Any platform of mine is a platform of yours. Please feel free to reach out at any time for whatever it is that I can do to assist. I got you covered. And we got some more work to do. So it's about time for us to get out of here. I got my fix-it juice.
Absolutely.
You got some more coffee left?
I do. And everybody, look, as you're drinking your coffee, and right now, go to LaPAAC.org, LaPAAC.org. It's LaPAAC, LaPAAC.org. And that'll, tell you everything you need to know as far as becoming a sponsor, a member, and learn about us.
Absolutely. I appreciate you so much. And I'm going to get you back real soon. So don't hang up just yet. I got you covered. Now, listen, we got more work to do. I want you to get out and chase the sun, or let the sun chase you. But either way, get after it. I love you. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Thank you, LaTangela.
Anytime.